Nzansi, and welcome to a brand new week on Afternoon Express. Now, I'm feeling so good. My name is Palisa Tembe, and we're chatting about all things COVID-19 awareness today. Dr. Sibuyile Matikana gives us an update on how the country is faring against COVID-19 and shares tips on helping to prevent the spread of the virus. Dr. Kate Webb teaches us about the COVID-19 related condition, multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children. And we'll also be kicking it off by meeting the third nominee in the sponsors of Brave, the Next Generation, Master Student Julian Sheldon. Now, on social media, we've asked you to rate us out of 10, 1 being bad and 10 being amazing. How well do you think us as South Africans are doing to keep the current COVID restrictions? Domi in the kitten, I see you got someone very close to your heart there. How you doing?
You know how we roll, Palisa. I just thought we should bring back Mommy Mondays with style by having my one and only beautiful mommy in the kitchen. Thank you for joining us, South Africa. Hi, Mommy.
Hello, my darling.
How are you?
I'm perfect too.
She's getting me all emotional. But anyway, guys, yes, I do have my mom in the kitchen cooking with me today. And we will be making a coup four bean salad cups. And we'll be serving them with delicious, tasty lamb chops. And for all the recipe details, go to afternoonexpress.co.za. But for now, let's catch up with a hero by the name of Julian Sheldon.
Season 1 of Sponsors of Brave brought you amazing stories of those displaying acts of ordinary courage and compassion that put healthcare first. In partnership with Adcock Ingram OTC, Sponsors of Brave, we now bring you Sponsors of Brave, the Next Generation. This new season shines a light on young students aspiring to be in the healthcare sector. Adcock Ingram OTC is creating a platform for healthcare students and recent graduates to realize their dreams of serving our beloved country. This is the next generation of Brave. Julian Sheldon is a master's student in the pharmaceutical chemistry industry who also loves learning in order to help those around him. His friends applauded him for the perseverance and determination that he's shown in his studies and life, and for the commitment he has shown in the front lines against COVID-19. This is Adcock Ingram OTC's Sponsors of Brave, the Next Generation.
My biggest takeaway was the fact that we have a responsibility. The role that we play in the healthcare system is quite huge. So it is extremely necessary for us to go above and beyond because that's the nature of our work. Healthcare is 24/7.
Hi, Julian.
Hi, Mr. Brits.
Welcome.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Please come through.
Go through. Okay. Today I'm going to be spending the day with Leon Brits. He is the responsible pharmacist here at Essential Pharmacy in Caregivers.
Julian is driven, goal-orientated. There's no stop in Julian. I think he will carry on for life, trying to create more things and learn more stuff.
I want to show you more about this new insulin that actually came on the market recently.
I love learning. So the fact that we are continuously learning new information on medications and treatment plans as they develop and being able to translate that information to the patient is very fulfilling for me.
Julian is a very kind-hearted person from the get-go. You know, kind, generous, would give you the clothes with his back. I can call him anytime, day or night. He's always on standby. He'll always listen and you know, he'll always give whatever advice or whatever I want.
Thank you so much. You have a lovely day. My dream is to continue pursuing a career in research, but also taking the data that I gain and gather to actually bring that to the forefront of medicine, to the pharmacy setting, so that patients have access to that information as well in the form of a tablet.
All okay, Julian?
Everything's good, Mr. Brits?
Good.
I still think back of my mentor those days. He was one of the pharmacists in the area where I grew up, and I learned so much from him. And so mentorship, I think, is something that you don't realize actually in the beginning, how much it will mean to you later on in life.
Mentorship is valuable for young and new healthcare professionals because we are novices in this field. And so mentorship just provides this form of guidance so that we don't go and reinvent the wheel. We can learn from other people's mistakes, and in that way the healthcare system will advance and grow.
I can see that you want to learn something and you want to actually accomplish much more in life than just where you are now. Yeah, and you're doing great. I hope that it takes away that we are not just counting tablets or issue prescriptions every day, but we are the link between the clinics and the doctors and your gynecologist and your dentist. If we can do that part as good as we can, it will be great for the customers and for the community out there.
So on paper, you're in charge, you manage, and you're leading this branch, or you manage this branch, but what I could see today is that you actually lead as well. Someone that your employees can look up to and respect.
It must be the age. Can't be the age. I think, you make a lot of mistakes in the beginning and you learn from that, And
True.
If anyone deserves to get this mentorship, it's Julian, hands down. He does a mentorship program at the university. There's a tutoring program. He works every other day or every day at the pharmacy that we're in currently, and he is completing his master's degree full time. So Julian grinds, right? He is, a textbook definition of a hard worker.
Healthcare professionals deserve to be called brave because they are essentially putting their needs second to their patients. Before coronavirus, under normal circumstances, this has been the case, and this pandemic has essentially just highlighted that fact.
I seldom meet people that's so driven, that wants to just do everything possible in life to make life better. Not just for himself, but people around him. And therefore, he deserves to be part of this next generation of brave.
Incredible work from Julian Sheldon. Congratulations for making it as one of those nominated, but let's see who's going to walk away with the prize. Now, you at home can get involved by nominating yourself or a deserving student, and you could win one of 10 5,000 Rand weekly prizes. Featured nominees could also stand a chance to win an impactful mentorship within the healthcare profession in their specific chosen field, and a chance to win one of two 25,000 Rand scholarships. To nominate, go to partners.24.com/sponsors-of-brave/nominations.
We want to acknowledge the healthcare students tirelessly volunteering during COVID-19
She's been a role model. She has given me so much confidence.
and give them hope for their future after this pandemic.
Here I am now, it's 10 years later, and I'm still trying to follow in his footsteps.
We're looking for current and aspiring healthcare students, graduates, interns, or those doing the community service here. Nominate yourself, receive nurturing mentorship, experience health work readiness, and stand a chance to win a 25,000 Rand scholarship. And for the mentors associated with the winner, you'll win an overseas trip to attend a medical conference of your choice. Sponsors of Brave, the next generation of brave.
Oh, Mama, don't you think that's such a great initiative, Mara?
Things like this make me excited. We need more programs like this for our young ones to do better in life.
Thank you. I think I agree with my mom, definitely. I mean, it motivates you and encourages you as a young person to do better.
And this is essentially what we are talking about, pushing the boundaries of bravery, making it have a different face. Maybe it looks like your face, maybe it's Mama's face, maybe it's Baba's face, and specifically saluting those in the healthcare profession. I definitely do say bravo and congratulations. I think we're on nomination 3, so I'm looking forward to seeing the rest as they come in. Who knows, maybe you can also walk away as a nominee. If we head over though to social media, we have asked everyone to vote us out of 10 as South Africans. How are we doing? How are we faring when it comes to following COVID-19 restrictions? We've got Oceanica, who says 2 out of 10. I went to Oshaka yesterday and almost everyone who was there didn't wear masks. Hashtag Afternoon Express. Mama, I can see you already shaking your head there.
We just need to adhere to the regulations. Then we will be safe.
It's that simple, South Africa. It's that simple. But coming up, we have more excitement up our sleeve. We continue to celebrate South African classics with a fun and interactive game.
Express yourself.
Yes. Hi, Hilda. Hi, Lurulani. How are you guys?
Hi, Salisa.
I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I'm so excited. Is that Hilda?
That's me.
I'm excited too.
I can't hide it as well.
I love that. Lurulani Putwam, we're literally just speaking about you. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
30 seconds. You got it right.
Yay! Okay, Sesyakala, we're starting.
30 seconds. I wonder how many times did you rehearse to get my name right? More got it wrong.
Really? Okay, we're going live in 10 seconds. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where it is game time. Now, Mzansi, we have called on you to celebrate South African classics with Clover Classic right here on Afternoon Express, where you could stand a chance of winning classic prizes by voting for your classic music, food, hairstyle, and so much more. Now, today is the first of our That's Classic game, and we have two contestants on the line, Hilda and Lurulani, who will battle it out to see who can guess correctly what our kid extraordinaires have chosen as their favorite classic South African foods. Now, the prizes up for grabs are a Tefal Jamie Oliver pot set, all up for grabs. And I want to just touch base with Hilda. Hilda, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you, Talisa.
Now, how are you feeling about taking part in this game?
Wow, I'm super excited,
Girl,
very excited.
I'm so excited for you. Now, Lurulani, are you there?
Yeah, as well.
Yes. Now, are you ready to win, homie?
I'm taking it back to Gauteng.
Okay. Now, these are some very confident contestants. But before we get into it, I want us to meet these kid extraordinaires.
Hi, my name is Kayla and I'm 10 years old and I love to dance and eat. I love to eat sushi.
Hi, my name is Yasin. I'm 10 years old and I love swimming. When I grow up, I want to be a pediatrician. I love cooking and I can make pizza, I can make spaghetti, and I can make cottage pie, and I can make butter chicken.
Hi, my name is Christian. I like football and I hope to become a legendary football soccer player one day. I can make eggs, but cracked eggs. I'm not sure if I know what they're called, but I think fried eggs, I can make them and toast and then put them together as a breakfast.
Hi, my name is Naledzi. I am 10 years old. I love swimming and I want to be a chef when I grow up. If I had to cook for my family, I would cook lasagna because lasagna is delicious and I'm pretty good at it.
Oh, to me, it seems like you've got some competition in the kitchen there. But South Africa, those are your kids. Kayla, Yasin, Christian, and Naledzi. Contestants, this is how the game works. We've asked each kid what is their favorite classic South African food. I will then ask each of you to guess which one of our four kids said what as their answer. Now, you can each say the name of the kid that you guessed said what. Should both of you have guessed wrong, we move on to the next round and you can guess again. Now, are you both ready, Hilda?
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Lurulani's already got his sleeves rolled up, ready to get guessing. Now, the game is as simple as that. The question we asked the kids was, what is your favorite South African classic food? Now, one of them said that their favorite food is braai. Hilda, your name was drawn first, and therefore you get to pick first. Which one of the four kids do you think answered braai as their favorite classic South African food?
Naledzi.
And Hilda gets to guess first. Lurulani, hold on 2 seconds. You're going to guess second. So, Hilda, who do you guess out of our four kids guessed that braai is their favorite classic South African food?
I think it was Kayla.
Okay, so that is your guess. Kayla is up on the board under Hilda. Lorolani, you have now 3 out of the remaining kids to guess. Are you going to stick with Naledi? Who are you guessing as their... Oh, you guessed. Who did you guess?
Naledi.
Okay, so now we've got Kayla under Hilda, and we also have Unaleti under Ulurulani. So please may we find out what Kayla's guess was?
My favorite classic South African food is biryani.
Oh no, Hilda! So you firstly guessed wrong, unfortunately. But if Lurulani guesses wrong as well, don't worry, we'll trickle over to round number 2. So let's see if Lurulani got it right. Please may you play Naledi's answer.
My favorite South African classic food is amagwinya.
Haike, round 1, ding, 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 0 points. No one guessed right. So hard luck, guys. I guess it's time for us to move on to round number 2. Hilda, which one of the last 2 remaining kids can you think guessed braai as their favorite classic South African food? You've got a choice out of Yasin and, of course, Christian.
It's Christian.
You guess Christian, okay. So Hilda, is that your final answer, locked, loaded, Christian?
Yes, it's my final answer, Christian.
Okay, Lurulani, obvious. You only have Yasin left over as a kid. But how are you feeling about Yasin?
I like her.
Okay.
I know she's...
Okay, I have to just cue the dramatic music. Let's see if Hilda guessed correctly in this round. Please, may we play Christian's answer.
My favorite South African classical food is babuti.
Oh, it wasn't Christian, which means congratulations. Lurulani, you guessed right. It was indeed Yasin who said that his favorite classic South African food is the braai. But let's cue his answer just to make doubly sure.
My favorite South African food is braai.
How exciting is that, Lurulani? Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Now you will be walking away with a Tefal Jamie Oliver pot set. How are you feeling right now?
I'll be cooking more fancy food. I'll be cooking.
Well, now you're going to be cooking it up and whipping it up like a true professional. Congratulations, Hilda. Better luck next time. Unfortunately, we have to let go of you and say goodbye. But thank you so much for participating.
Okay. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Bye, you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Now, South Africa, winning is just that easy. If you'd like a chance to participate in a round of a That's Classic game, then get entering. To enter, simply dial *120 *2676# to win in the weekly poll. You could be winning classic prizes for voting for your favorite South African classic. Now, you don't want to miss out on it. Plus, you can also stand a chance of being called live on the show to participate in our That's Classic game on Afternoon Express, where you could be going home with one of our classic prizes. So go on and vote right now. T's and C's apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. welcome Dr. Sivuyile Matikana, who has been working on the front line during this pandemic. We chat to him about COVID and how we can continue to stop the spread. Doctor, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi, Bali. How's it going?
I'm good. You know, it's so funny being able to talk to people that are considered friends over the time in such a professional way, because you are a doctor, you're a medical professional, and you know everything that's been happening on the front line, behind the scenes, and that's essentially what we want to touch base on today. Now, Dr. Matikana, I mean, it's been quite a journey these past few months, and the country now is on lockdown level 1. We've become accustomed to living with COVID, but many are experiencing that COVID fatigue, where of course we're not taking the precautions we used to. So how careful should we be now with more interactions taking place?
Bali, thanks so much for having me. I think what I always tell people is the fact that COVID is going to be with us for a while. So it's not something that's disappeared or going away. We need to be able to ensure that we know how to live with it. It's part of our lives right now. And as I say, it's the new normal, right? So when you're going out on the streets, you know, don't forget to wear your mask. As much as the numbers have reduced over the past couple of weeks or so, and the president has said we can open up the country, but there's still stuff that we need to stick to, such as wearing your mask, sanitizing your hands, because I think, again, it's something that we have found ourselves lacking in the past couple of weeks since level 1 lockdown has begun.
Absolutely. But as a medical doctor, how have you and your colleagues been coping? Now, I'm sure it's been quite a challenging time. And furthermore, we now know that there's an influx of infections, and now the infection rate is starting to drop. So how safe are we?
No, so the infection rate is starting to drop, and that's quite awesome for the country in general and the world as a whole, meaning that the world can open up and things can get back to normal, right? However, doctors working on the front line still need to ensure that they are protecting themselves every single day. And I think it's COVID fatigue, not only from a public perspective, but also from a healthcare worker's perspective, in that they need to make sure that they've got their PPE on and, all the other precautions that they need, So it's still not necessarily something that's disappeared for us as medical practitioners, because that's something that we deal with every single day. If one of our doctors working in the emergency room is getting sick, we need to make sure that we take them out of the emergency room to make sure that they isolate and protect not only themselves, but the patients as well. So it's still something that for us is a full-on reality. And unlike, I suppose, other South Africans where, it's almost at the back of our mind, but as healthcare workers, it's something that's there with us all the time.
Absolutely. And I just have to commend you and your colleagues in this moment. We do not take it for granted. Putting yourself at risk on a daily basis just to make sure that we're safe, alive, and taken care of. We take our hats off to you and we say thank you so much. But now when we hear most people get COVID mildly, how mild is that? And does it have lasting effects, as in some experience symptoms over the next few months?
Bali, as you might know, we call it the novel coronavirus because it's something that is new. It came into the world last year and we're still learning so much about it. So the reports that came to us, when we got our wave of infections, we thought literally you get COVID and immediately you get shortness of breath, you're in hospital, in ICU. But what's tended to happen in a lot of cases, and a majority of the cases, is that people get mild symptoms, right? You might think you have a flu, you might think maybe I don't, where you have perhaps a dry cough, you've got a bit of body pain here and there, and a couple of other symptoms. Some people even have headaches, right? And so they've mistaken those for other things. So it's very mild symptoms because we're expecting this huge flare up where you're really short of breath and you can't breathe properly. But what we found is that the infections are very mild, and a lot of people seem to have that and they don't know that they've got COVID because they don't take those mild symptoms very seriously.
Now, with many people being asymptomatic, how dangerous is it to ignore mild symptoms? And how is inflammation of the organs and our muscles COVID related? What are those signs that we should look out for with regards to inflammation?
So look, I'll start with the discussion around people that are asymptomatic or very mild symptoms. I think it's important that, again, we re-emphasize that to the public, you need to ensure you're wearing your mask, you're sanitizing, you keep the 1.5 meter distance. We need to keep those precautions in place because you don't know whether you've got COVID or not, number one. And then the second part, when it comes to, the inflammatory process, as we know, any infection in your body and COVID as well specifically, becomes an inflammatory process within the body. So hence people are getting things like muscle pain, they're feeling tired, because what it does is that it goes into the organs and the cells that, occupy your body, and essentially causing an inflammatory process, causing your cells to tire and wear out, and that's what we're getting.
So we know that we have to wear a mask, sanitize, and keep a 1.5 meter distance. But is that enough? A lot of people are asking, am I doing what's needed? Are there extra precautions that we can do to keep our immune system strong and to help stop the spread?
Currently, we don't have a cure. That's why also we're looking for a vaccine, and those tests are happening and ongoing. Hopefully we'll have a vaccine very soon. But one of the things that we do recommend from a healthcare worker's perspective, first of all, is, winter's over right now, but what we'd recommended was that people have a flu vaccine, right? So that that if you're getting sick, it's not necessarily just the flu, but it cuts out all the other things, but could be COVID. The second thing that's quite important is that, taking your multivitamins, so your vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc as well is quite good, because it helps your body build up its immune system so that it's better able to fight any kind of infection and COVID more specifically.
Now, you have mentioned, Doctor, that COVID is a new virus and doctors might not have all the answers, but we have heard that healthy people are succumbing to this virus. And also, we've also heard those people that are vulnerable also succumbing to it. But what treatments then have been effective thus far? You've spoken about a flu vaccine as well. Do you recommend that we do that?
Yeah, definitely. So the reason we recommend people getting a flu vaccine is that you're able as healthcare workers and also individuals to easily rule out what could the causes of the infection be. So someone presents to you with shortness of breath, or someone presents to you, they're coughing, they've got symptoms that might look like COVID, because COVID and also the general flu have quite similar symptoms, in that you'll have a scratchy throat sometimes, you're coughing. So you need to also delineate as an individual, but also as a healthcare worker, that, okay, this person probably could be a flu, this person could be COVID. But taking a flu vaccine early on, prevents you from getting the flu, but won't prevent you from getting COVID. So therefore, we know that we have to be very cognizant that you might have COVID. And when it comes to treatment, as I said, like currently, there aren't any treatments that are out there. What we do is we treat the symptoms that people are presenting with, and definitely recommend that you get your zinc, you get your vitamin D, you get your vitamin C.
Thank you for that. Doctor, again, helping us understand and break down COVID-19. With all this new information, it's very hard to keep up, but that's why it's important to touch base with professionals like yourself. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you so much, Bali. Have a good one.
With information about COVID changing daily, it's important for us to maintain social distancing, sanitizing, and wearing our mask, but also pay attention to our bodies. For an update on COVID-related information, please do check out our website.
You wanna take control, but no one ever got me. You try to slow me down, but you could never stop me. I am a fire.
Fearless handles anything with Guardian Angel on call 24/7 accident and roadside assistance. SMS first to 38548. First for women.
Perfect. Businesswoman and powerhouse Marisa Meyer once said, "I always do something that I was a little not ready to do." I think that's how you grow. When you do that, a moment of, wow, I'm not really sure I can do this, and you push through those moments, that's when you have a breakthrough. And that's what being fearless is all about. Last week, we, together with First for Women, gave 10 lucky viewers the opportunity to win themselves a limited edition Fearless Statement t-shirt. And we are so excited to announce those 10 lucky winners today. Drum roll, please. A massive congratulations goes to Susan Shwai, Violet Mokine, Babalwa Kweta, Nelly Malefu Shabalala, Renilwe Macha, Gloria Botha, Nicolette Manuel, Charlotte Blount. We also have Natasha Solomons, and lastly, Charmaine Singh. Congratulations, ladies. Fearless t-shirt is coming your way so you can wear it proudly and join forces to empower and uplift women around you. Koo is still celebrating their 80th birthday, and as part of the festivities, they're giving you a chance to win your share of 1 million rand in prizes.
Grocery hampers and vouchers are up for grabs daily, while stylish Le Creuset pot sets can be yours weekly.
And the grand prize, a stunning kitchen makeover. To enter, buy any 2 Koo products, dial *120 *1987# and follow the prompts.
And remember to keep your till slip as proof to qualify for your awesome prize.
Competition ends on the 13th of November 2020. Terms and conditions apply. Koo, it's the best you can do. We welcome Dr. Kate Webb, a pediatric rheumatologist who chats to us about COVID and the multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children. Welcome to the Loft, Doctor.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, Doctor, how has COVID affected children, and what are the age groups that are most affected?
Well, that's been really interesting. I think we were all, in the very beginning of the pandemic, quite concerned, but the one good thing about COVID is that it seems to really spare children relative to how it affects adults. The South African data so far shows that cases among children are much lower than adults. About 8% of all cases are in those less than 19, and the majority of those are between the age groups of 15 and 19. So it's relatively rare compared to adults, especially in younger children. and younger children seem to get a lot less unwell. So admissions are rare in young children, especially those under 10, and only about 3% of all admissions so far in South Africa have come from kids less than the age of 19. The one exception is this very rare syndrome called multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children, or MISC-C, which seems to be a post-COVID effect, an immunological effect of COVID that happens very rarely in a small proportion of children after the infection.
So then, doctor, is it safe to say that children aren't high-risk carriers of COVID-19? Because I've seen many parents feel that sending their children back to school is risky, as they could expose the rest of the family to the virus.
We know that children probably have a lower rate of getting COVID than adults do from some of the overseas data. We can't confirm that yet. We know that children carry the disease and can spread it, but we think possibly at a lower rate than adults. And children, we know, get a lot less unwell from COVID. So children seem to be spared from the disease more than adults, and from the side effects of the disease and the outcome of the disease, but certainly do seem to spread it, but we think at slightly lower rates than adults. The one way that the COVID pandemic doesn't seem to spare children is that they seem to be disproportionately affected in terms of access to vaccinations, access to routine healthcare. Obviously, education has been a huge impact on children, and there's been serious negative side effects in the lack of access to education over this year. And we feel that we need to balance this in the childhood population and make sure that children are receiving the services and education that they need, while balancing the risk that they may pose to their families or themselves. So we think that kids are not particularly high risk for spreading COVID, but there certainly is a risk. And what we'd like to emphasize is the standard measures that everyone has to apply in terms of hand washing, social distancing, especially in the older childhood ranges, the teenage range, is really important.
Absolutely. Now, you do specialize in post-COVID inflammatory disease, aka the MISC-C disease, which has been becoming more prevalent in young children and teenagers. Now, the real question is this inflammatory disease caused by COVID? And what are some of the signs that parents should be looking out for?
It's such an interesting disease for someone like me who's a rheumatologist. I look at the immune system in children, and I study the immune system. And usually I study the immune system when it goes wrong and is overinflamed. So we treat a disease called Kawasaki disease. And very early on in the pandemic in the UK, in about April, they started to notice young children presenting with a Kawasaki-like disease. So they had fevers, rashes, they had heart failure, and they became quite unwell, these kids. And they all had antibodies that were positive to COVID. And we've seen that pattern in other places. So you have your initial pandemic spike, and a month or so later, we start to see these cases. They are rare. At the Red Cross Children's Hospital, we've had about 25 cases, and that's one of the largest caseloads that we know of in one center. But it's still extremely rare compared to many other childhood illnesses. And this is something rare and quite difficult to, well, not difficult, but there's a lot of things that look like that. Lots of children get rashes, lots of children get fevers, and the majority of that is not MISC-C. So we are trying to get together doctors from all over the country to know about this disease, to pick it up, but also to exclude the much more common and standard causes of a fever and a rash in childhood. So I don't think parents need to worry or look out for symptoms specifically. The majority of kids that we've seen with it never had COVID symptoms. They were completely asymptomatic at the time, and a month or so later developed this. And of all the children that we've admitted, we've been really fortunate in that we were pre-warned, we were looking out for it, and they've all done well and gone home.
So then, firstly, doctor, how dangerous is MISC-C? And if we think of greater illnesses and COVID-19, it must be quite challenging for caregivers and parents to control young kids. I mean, keeping a distance from one another. But what can parents and caregivers do to ensure that their children are following protocol?
So firstly, I don't want parents to be worried about MISC-C. I think that it's something we're keeping an eye of, and the total risk to your child is low relative to all the other things that you've got to worry about right now. And it's a very anxious time for everyone in terms of everything we're having to deal with. So this is not something that I think people need to worry about. I think doctors all over the country are working really hard to pick up these cases and to treat them early. I think that for teenagers, the same rules apply for adults. You know, wear your mask, wash your hands, socially distance as best you can, don't go to school if you're unwell. And the same applies for small children. The South African Pediatric Association has released guidelines saying over the age of 2, children, well, under the age of 2, children shouldn't wear masks, but from 2 to 5, they can wear them with the proviso of how much they can tolerate and how well they can do. And I think that we can all aim to do our best. Teachers all need to wear masks, wash hands, socially distance. Everyone needs to clean the surfaces frequently. The children need to be encouraged to wash their hands. But obviously, we need to make sure that we're not doing damage to young people and the psychology of young children. So things need to be happy and innovative and make a game of it. Adults need to really model the best behavior to reward children who are doing well. Yeah. And sometimes if they can't manage it, we make sure that the adults are doing the best we can. There haven't been widespread outbreaks in early childhood development centers or nursery schools. And I think that kids need to do the best they can within their developmental appropriate stages. And we shouldn't make this a fight with children. We should just, as adults, do the best we can and encourage our kids to do the best they can.
Well, thank you so much. We do appreciate you helping us, understanding all of it. South Africa, please do head over to our social media platforms and use that hashtag Afternoon Express and engage within this conversation. Goodbye, Doc.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Now, we can't stop kids from being kids, but we can teach and instill good hygiene habits at home to ensure that they and the rest of the family are safe. For more information on COVID in children, please do follow Afternoon Express's social media pages.
Palisa, you are right. We can't stop kids from being kids. But one thing I have been proud of is that my mom has actually been looking after my son during this time because I've been here in Joburg, in Cape Town. So I think she's got some advice for people on what they need to do to make sure that kids are protected.
I'm all ears.
As I said before, I've got 3 words for you. Adherence, adherence, and adherence. And boost the immune system. That's all.
They even have a song called Immune Booster, Multivite, because every morning she's like, come. Immune Booster, Multivite, every morning. Fail.
So, essentially here, children are not going to be able to pull the rules out in your household. You are the one that sets the tone.
Oh, yes.
I love that. Well, as much as my earring is running away from me on the show, what's not running away is what you're going to be whipping up in the kitchen.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it, Ma. We brought you here. Where did she get this from? Her flair in the kitchen. So what are we going to be making after these?
We're going to be making a Koo 4-bean salad cup with lamb chops. So you've got the sweet, the tangy, you've got the delicious saltiness from the meat. All of that basically coming up after this.
Stunning. I can't wait for that. South Africa, please do head over to our social media platforms and, of course, our website, more importantly, to get the full ingredients list and the recipe so you can cook along with us after these.
New Sensodyne Herbal Multicare. Sensitivity relief with natural herbal extracts.
She wants to know if she can put... Can I put the boy on my lap when it's time to have supper and the wrap-up? Cool. Thank you. Thank you for joining us again and welcome back, South Africa. Now, Monday blues are a thing of the past thanks to Koo and their delicious recipe that's about to hit our kitchen. Crammed with flavor and, of course, the quality-assured goodness of Koo, dinner is sorted and in minutes. Introducing our Koo 4-bean salad cups and lamb chops. Think of something sweet and spicy with carrot bean salad served with crispy lamb chops. Now open your eyes, stop imagining and start enjoying as myself and my mama bear share this mouth-watering feast before your eyes. Are you ready to start cooking, Mama?
Oh yes, I'm ready.
So I'm going to do the salad part of our salad cups and you're going to cook up our delicious, feasty, delicious lamb chops. You're going to show us exactly how to cook these. South Africa, my little one is also trying to cook with us, so I will invite him very shortly. But Mama, how are we going to cook these chops?
Okay, I'm going to put some oil and fry with the oil.
Okay. Do you prefer to fry with oil or butter, or is there, what do you prefer?
I love olive oil.
Okay.
Okay.
You enjoy olive oil?
I love olive oil.
Most of the cooking that we've done has been
not
with
too
olive.
much.
Okay.
Okay. I see my stove is nice and hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I just season it with some pepper.
Okay. And not a lot. I see you're not too generous.
Yes.
Enough.
Simpler is tastier.
Okay. A little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, boo.
I hope South Africa is listening. While you're doing that, Mama, I'm going to get started with the salad, the salad cups on my side. And what I've got over here is I've got some red onion, I've got some garlic, I've got some turmeric, some curry, and I've got some chutney. All of this is going to get cooked into our nice mixture and then mixed with our 4-bean salad. And for the Koo mixture, I've got our, I didn't actually know that Koo had this. We've got a 4-bean mix in flavor, Mama. Did you know that there was such a thing as this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's an old brand. I grew up eating Koo, baked beans and mixed vegetables on Sunday.
I remember.
Breakfast, we used to have toasted jam. Dessert, we used to have Koo peaches and custard. So Koo is a very well-known brand.
Well, South Africa, you heard it. Koo is the one to trust, the one to beat. And so in here, like we said, I'm going to be using our Koo whole kernel sweet corn, and I'm also going to be using the 4-bean mix. And back in the day, I didn't know that there was such a thing. So we'd always get all the beans and cook them together and prepare them. But now Koo has made it easy for us because we've got it all in
one.
All in one, and all you do is just add whatever flavorings you want. So I'm going to fry up our red onion, which adds a bit of sweetness, and then kikenya with our curry powder, some turmeric, and some garlic. I'm sure you know now when I cook with garlic.
But yes, anyway, you love garlic.
South Africa, if you don't know, I actually got my cooking genius from my mom because she's very creative. She likes to add. I remember even back in the day when we didn't have a lot of stuff in the kitchen, you would still whip up, like you've just said. You'd whip up magic with the least amount of ingredients. And Koo was always there.
Oh, yes.
Always there.
As I'm saying, that's the lifesaver.
Definitely. Definitely. And I know we're using the 4-bean option right now, but South Africa, you're more than welcome to add any of the other options they've got. They've got the peas, they've got the baked beans. You can even add the baked beans to this mixture here. This brand that we have, Honaja, or the one that we have today, has got red kidney beans, has got small white beans. We've even got chickpeas in here. So it's very high in flavor, very high in fiber, and even the sweet corn adds an additional amount of fiber in there. So it's really perfect for you. And like you mentioned, Mama, because it was such a lifesaver, you could add any of the other ingredients to it as well.
Yeah. There's also spaghetti, tin spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's a whole meal.
A whole meal on its own.
On its own.
Right, so I've got the Koo beans here, and I just want to quickly add our corn kernel. What I'm going to try and do is remove the sweet corn lid here. And I want to remove the brine because, yes, we can use the liquid for something else, but today we're not going to be using it. We're just going to use the corn kernels and mix it all up. The flavor in here, because, I mean, we've got the tangy coming from our chutney. We've got the
sweet and sour.
The sweet and sour, yes. And then we've got
a nice flavor.
Coriander that's going to add that delicious herby flavor, but I'm not going to add all of it. How are we looking on our chops, Mami?
It's coming up nicely.
How do you know whether they're well done? Because I know when you like them. How do you like your meat actually?
I like it well done. Okay. Yeah. So I like it nice and brown, but very soft inside.
Okay.
Yes.
And then another trick, South Africa, whenever you're making meat like this, be sure to make sure that you let your meat rest before you cut into it, because if you cut immediately, all those juices are going to basically run out and you're going to have a dry piece of meat.
Yes, yes.
So it is important to make sure that you just let it sit for a bit. And I think now on my side, my salad is actually ready.
Actually ready, yes.
Okay,
what I sometimes do is I fry them, but I don't cook them well. Then I just put them in the oven just to retain the taste, you know, keep the flavors in there.
So that's a very good tip, because most people don't know that you can actually just char them nicely on the outside to get that color, and then you cook them finish in the oven. Well, then let's finish up the salad cup part of our dish. So I'm just going to put the mixture into the salad cup that I'm basically just going to unravel a bit so you can see, South Africa, what's going in there. And that is our salad cup, nice and earthy. You could eat this as a sandwich, as is, or you can eat it with the chops like we have there.
Yeah.
But South Africa, you can enjoy it however you'd like. And if you don't know, KOO is still celebrating their 80th birthday. And as part of the festivities, they're giving you a chance to win your share of 1 million rand in prizes. Grocery hampers and vouchers are up for grabs daily, while luxury Le Creuset pot sets can be yours weekly. And the grand prize is a stunning kitchen makeover. So to enter, buy any 2 KOO products, dial *120*1987# and follow the prompts. And remember, keep your till slip as proof to qualify for your prize. This competition ends on the 13th of November. T's and C's apply. Visit koo.co.za for more details. And remember one last but very important detail. KOO, it's the best you can do.
Delicious. What a powerful duo, a dynamic duo. My favorite mommy-daughter duo, apart from myself, of course, that is Udumi and Umawethu. I have to say, please, adopt ma after that delicious meal. Come through, come sit down, ma. Let's have a good meal. We also have a special guest that Udumi is about to bring in as well, that we're going to enjoy this delicious meal with. I mean, ma, how normal and natural. Come sit down. We also see that not only does Udumi get her brains in the kitchen from you, but she clearly has her TV pizzazz and TV personality from you too. What's up, boy? Oh my goodness, we've got a special guest here. Okay, before we get Uma's answer, please may you introduce this the cutest member of the Afternoon Express family.
The man in my life right now. This is the little one with Hlokwa Mokhwai. Say hello to everyone.
Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
I can't. And of course, that is your 4-year-old son. I mean, 3-year-old.
He behaves like a 4-year-old.
So, Ma, first of all, I want to thank you not only for joining us here on Afternoon Express, but whilst Udumi has been here working tirelessly hard, providing South Africa with the recipes that we enjoy daily. You were holding it down all the way in Soweto, taking care of our little Hloki here. And this is essentially what we love to see on Afternoon Express, that we truly do have a village and a community raising us, not just us as the head of the household. So, Ma, when you see Inganyako or Udumi on the stage, on this platform, delivering not only wholesome meals, but also something that South Africans can relate to, how did that make you feel?
I have no words. I will just say I am so proud. I'm teary, actually. But I thank God because He gave me the strength to take her to school. And
here she is. Just like that, here she is, Mama. Dish up, enjoy the fruits of your labor here. We appreciate you. And Hloki Boy, I'm sure you're already diving into that meat. Enjoy. Now join us again tomorrow, Mzansi, as we whip up a tasty meal alongside our guest chef, Chef Sisanda, for another famous Cook-Along Tuesdays. But until then, you can get the full recipe and ingredients on afternoonexpress.co.za. And it's so yummy, 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 boy. I need you to say goodnight to South Africa. Say bye-bye, South Africa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night, South Africa.
Clover celebrates spring with exciting giveaways. Look out for selected Clover products in store to stand a chance to win. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.